Mother, please. I don't want to go out there today. I hate singing for strangers. They stare at me like I'm something to buy. You'll smile and sing, and you'll bring back enough coins for supper. That's all that matters. You always say that, but when will it end? Before me it was you, before you it was Grandma. How much longer must we do this? Until the song chooses another voice. Now go. The sun is down, the tourists will be out, and remember, sing it true, or it will sing for you. Finally, we relax. No calls, no emails, just the view. Edward and Rose Roberts were wealthy business people who had built their fortune from the ground up. They had spent years negotiating deals and building a company that had finally reached 6 figures in revenue. After all that work, they decided it was time to take a vacation. They rented a villa on the Arabian coast, where the desert met the sea, and planned to just relax. They had little need for luxury, but they enjoyed it. It was a reward for years of hard work and careful calculation. Ed, come on, let's go out for dinner. Maybe a little adventure. Let's eat local tonight. If your stomach can handle the spice, why not? The two left the villa together and walked to the Arabian market, just about 20 minutes from their villa. The streets were crowded. The sight was amazing. Lanterns hung from poles. Fire breathers performed. Snake charmers played their flutes, and there were vendors, jewelry, exotic spices, and more. As they walked, a man stopped Rose in her way and waved a brass lamp at her. Step closer, generous strangers. This lamp holds a jinn, 3 wishes for any who dare. And how much will 3 wishes cost? The solution to all life's problems has a hefty price, 10,000 coins. We're not interested, but thank you. Edward and Rose continued walking. After years in the business world, they had learned to see through scams and tricks. They had worked hard, suffered setbacks, then built their company from nothing. Nothing fooled them anymore. 1 wish is all it takes. Anything your heart desires, power, love, the man shouted from behind them. But Rose simply waved goodbye. By evening, Edward and Rose decided to eat at a small local restaurant near the boardwalk. The smell of grilled meat and spices filled the air. What do you recommend? Lamb kebab and flatbread. Hot. 2 plates, please, and some mint tea. Dinner was splendid by the sea. But after the long travel from the States to here, and the walk through the market, Rose had just about enough for the night. I have a headache. I think I'll rest tonight. Dropping off Rose at the villa, Edward decided to take a walk by the shore. The winds were sweet out, and the weather had cooled down. There weren't many people out anymore, just a handful out in the distance. But as Edward walked down the boardwalk, he noticed a young girl sitting barefoot near a broken lantern. Seeing him, she rose up and rushed forward. "Please, sir, I can show you a trick. Only 10 coins. "No, thank you. I've seen enough for tonight." "No, sir, you haven't. It's something you've never seen before. Just 10 coins. I promise it's worth it." "A trick, eh?" "Yes, sir." "Very well. Show me." The girl smiled, removed the belt from her waist, and began to sing. All of a sudden, the belt stirred, lifted, and moved like a snake in the air. Edward laughed, shocked and amazed. "What is this? How did you do that?" "It was not me, sir. It's the belt. It's magic." "Really? Magic? So where can I get one like that?" "It's not in the market." "Then how about I buy it from you?" "It's not for sale, sir. It belongs to me. Before it was my mother's, and before her it was my grandmother's." "My grandmother's." Edward dropped 10 extra coins into her hand. "Thank you, sir." When Edward returned to the villa, Rose was sitting in the lounge after some meds. "Where have you been?" "You won't believe me if I told you. By the shore, I saw a girl, a beggar. She showed me something incredible." "Oh, another one of those scam artists?" "No. She had this belt, and she sang, and the belt, it moved. Like it was alive. 10 coins. That's all she wanted. And it worked. It really worked." "How amusing." "See, you don't believe me. How about I show you tomorrow night? And then you'll see." "Try me." So the next night, Edward took Rose out to the boardwalk around the same time, and they waited and waited. Until, sure enough, Edward spotted the same girl. "Look, over there. She's showing the trick to someone." Seeing the magic with her own eyes, Rose's eyes lit up. "Really? Do you know what people would pay for something like that? We'd be millionaires all over again." "It's not for sale. She said it was her mother's. She said it was ancestry. Then we'll make it ours." "How?" "We want the belt, not the girl. So we get rid of the girl." Edward and Rose Roberts had not become rich by honest work. They had stolen ideas from smaller companies and claimed them as their own. They had sold products that didn't work, collecting money from investors who trusted them. When lawsuits came, they quietly settled, leaving others to take the blame. They smiled for magazines and television, showing the world their success, while the people they cheated suffered in silence. They had built their empire on cunning, lies, and greed. Every deal, every opportunity had been a step toward power. They had learned to take what they wanted. And now, in this villa, they were exactly the kind of people who would kill for one more edge. Edward turned to Rose. But how will we get it? Rose smiled. We'll find a way. The next night, Edward returned to the boardwalk. The girl was sitting in the same place. Would you come to our villa tonight? I'll pay you double for a private performance. I don't know. I've never done anything like that. You'll be safe. Warm food, a place to rest. Only tonight. The girl hesitated, then nodded. Okay, I'll come. Inside the villa, Rose greeted her with a smile. Welcome, beautiful young lady. Please sit. Have some food. You must be hungry. The girl ate quietly. When they were finished, Edward said, Show us the trick, please. The girl stood, lifted the embroidered belt, and began to sing. The belt stirred, lifted, and coiled like a snake in the air. Rose gave Edward a small nod. He moved quickly, grabbing the girl from behind. Rose covered her mouth. Centuries ago, in the desert kingdom of Al-Qadim, there lived a poor seamstress named Nura. She was known for her beautiful embroidery. Her hands would weave gold out of dust. But Nura's only child was dying of hunger. And no matter how much she worked, no one paid her enough to survive. In desperation, Nura went to a shrine at the edge of the desert, said to be haunted by Layla al-Kina. The jinn of song, Nura begged for wealth and power to keep her family alive. The jinn agreed to help her, but at a price. Weave your wish into cloth, sing your hunger into the thread. I will answer, but the song will never be yours alone. That night, Nura embroidered a belt with golden thread spun from her own blood and tears. As she sang to it, the belt shimmered and came alive, writhing, twisting like a serpent. It obeyed her song, danced in the air, and brought her coins from those who watched in awe. Nura and her daughter never went hungry again. Edward pulled the belt from the girl's waist Rose ran her fingers over the golden threads, admiring the craftsmanship. It's incredible. We could sell it, make a fortune. Rose took the belt and wrapped it around her own waist. How do I look? Let's see if it works. She hummed softly, then sang a few notes, trying to match the tune the girl had sung. Edward watched, leaning forward. But nothing happened. Doesn't work. What a waste of time. Rose threw the belt onto the floor. But what do we do with her? We can't leave her here. We'll dump her into the desert tomorrow. Nobody will care. She's a beggar. They poured wine and drank in silence. When their bottles were empty that night, they went to bed. Where is Mira? Did they leave without paying? The next evening, the villa's owners arrived. They had tried calling the couple all day, but no answers. They knocked, no reply. Cautiously, they opened the door. But what they found shook them to their core. Edward hung from the ceiling fan, the embroidered belt tight around his neck. How? Why would he do this? And his wife? Rose lay on the bed, eyes wide, blood on the pillow. Her tongue is gone. We have to get out of here. The owner stumbled outside. What are we going to do? If people know, no one will rent this villa again. Don't tell anyone. Let's call the police. Both men suddenly heard a tune. They turned to see a young girl, one of the beggars. Hey, girl, did you see anyone come or go around here last night? Only those who don't keep their word. Nura and her daughter never went hungry again. But the belt demanded more than song. It demanded a voice. When Nura grew old and her voice began to fade, the belt began to tighten around her throat, hungry for the music it knew. So before she died, she passed it to her daughter, who sang and lived, and then passed it on to hers.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.